This is going to be your weekly tarot and oracle relationship reading. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. We're going to take a look at the energies that you may have been experiencing earlier in the week, the energy you're experiencing today and this weekend, and a sneak peek at the following week. So let's take some overall messages for what's been going on. As usual, I'd love to know your word of the day or word of the week in regards to you and your connection. Now, you could also be watching this for your inner masculine and inner feminine energies. Totally up to you. But I do think that the energy lately has been really, I can't think of a word other than interesting, you know. Isn't it amazing how the word interesting can encompass so many things? We are in right now a Mars-Sun conjunction. And, you know, Mars is about aggression and forward motion. And there can be some real positives to that energy. But there can also be some tension as well. You know, some aggressive energy. And Mercury is in Sagittarius. And that's not a comfortable spot for Mercury. And you might be noticing that overall, that new moon in Scorpio we had, this Mercury in Sagittarius, this Mars energy, there's this roller coaster of up and down. I say it every week, and I feel like it's always something, but it is what it is, and we cope with it. So let's get some overall messages to see what we need to know. And we have time for a nap. How many of you feel like you need a nap? And maybe that's why the lighting is just so dull. It's nap time. You know, as I'm filming, I'm looking at the window and it looks dark. It does not look very nice. And, you know, inside my home here, no matter what light I would put on, it's just not conducive for this filming. And so bear with me if it does feel a little dark. Now, there goes my camera shaking. You know what's funny? Lately, I've noticed that my camera likes to shake randomly. Don't know why. So we'll bear with it. Now, this says by the book. And we've had this card before. And I think sometimes we feel like we have to stick to the rules or be by the book. And I want to remind you that we don't always have to be. I've been having this discussion a lot lately in regards to my passion project class that I've been running, and that is we are not perfect beings, okay? We're going to have moments where we're going to venture off from the path. We're not on the same timeline as everybody else. We shouldn't compare ourselves to other people and their relationships or whatever else you want to compare. You are you and they are them. And that's why it's hard sometimes to get relationship advice because you know, not everybody understands energy, and you have to be so careful who you talk to about your relationship. Because if it's a friend or a family member that doesn't understand energy, they're going to give you bad advice based on possibly their own traumas, triggers, and hurts, and it may not be conducive to your growth. So let's see what else we need to know here. Regeneration. You're going through a total transformation and change. Definitely. So I almost take this message as saying you don't always have to be by the book. You can do different. You know, what's the definition of learning, right? It's studying something, taking in all the information you can, and then putting it into motion, right? If you make a mistake, you make a mistake, you learn from it, and that's okay. I always say, be a Roomba, right? What does a Roomba do? It spins around the room. If it hits a wall, it completely redirects itself. So I don't think there's any need to stress if you make a mistake. Now you're in the process of regeneration, and you know, maybe a nap is a good idea or a break is a good idea, and you can reevaluate what's going on. What do you want? What are you willing to accept? What are you not willing to accept? I feel like I'm always in the notebook asking, what do you want? You know? So let's take a look here at the Before Tarot. And the Before Tarot is a deck that shows the energies, you know, prior to right now. So let's take a look and see what we need to know. We're going to look at what's going on in your headspace, your person's headspace, your heart space, their heart space, overall energy and underlying energy. And of course, feel free to swap sides if it makes more sense. You know, I'm coming to realize that my camera stand, I think, is reactive to my voice. I think the stronger I speak, the more it shakes. Maybe that's the frequency or the vibration of what I'm saying. So interesting. Anyways, my apologies if it's shaking. Now, in your headspace, we have the Four of Wands, and Four of Wands is 1111. So, you know, this is the thing. We're always ascending. We're always in the process of ascension, and we're all at different points, right? Points in time. And the Chariot, it's like you're embarking on a new journey, right? That's that regeneration. You're embarking on something beautiful and new. The question is, are you ready to embrace it? You know, that's always the question. When are you ready? I think there's a lot of energy that says, I'll do this tomorrow, I'll do this next week, I'll do this next year, or whatever it is. And, you know, if we're not going to do it now, when are we going to do it? You know? Okay, so in your person's headspace, we have the Eight of Wands. This could very well be somebody who's thinking about communicating or shooting their shot, because Eight of Wands is manifestation and communication, putting out the vibes, putting out the energies. I almost want to say putting out the feelers. Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles, this is what I mean, trusting the process, embarking on this sort of slow journey, but yet at the same time, it's so abundant in the long run. It's just, man, you got to trust the process. You got to trust the process. You got to trust their process. You got to believe, you know? Okay, let's see what's going on here in your heart space. And we have the Ten of Pentacles. So the Ten of Pentacles is all about tangible wish fulfillment. You're striving for your ultimate goal, to have everything in line. And the Page of Wands is telling you to go on an adventure, spark new energy. I always talk about this, like, do what you're passionate about. Don't hold yourself back. You know, please do not wait. I see so many people talking about the word waiting. I'm waiting. You know, I'm tired of waiting. Waiting is not the key here. I think people confuse patience and waiting. So I'm going to reiterate, and that is, waiting keeps everything in the same energy. If you continue to wait, you're always going to wait. Okay? Feminine energy leads in the 5D, masculine energy leads in the 3D. If you want your person to come in and take the lead, then you have to demonstrate the spiritual growth and evolution in the 5D to put yourself first and put yourself on that pedestal. And, you know, we talk about how a lot of the times, you know, our person may not feel worthy enough, right? They just don't feel good enough because you're overgiving, right? You're overdoing, you're being everything to everyone, especially to them. Imagine for a moment, do you feel worthy? Why do you overgive? More than likely you overgive because you want to be loved in return, right? And so this is the thing. If you feel worthy and you've got yourself at the top of the pedestal or at the top of the cake, if you know the cake analogy, you know, then, you know, you're going to be more inclined to attract that solid energy that you're looking for. Okay? But that's why it's so important to get up the cake, to get up to the top of that pedestal, to believe that you can have it. And if you want your person to feel worthy, then you need to feel worthy too. It's very much a mirror. And I think that's something that's very hard to digest sometimes. We want our other person, or our person, I should say, to feel confident and feel good and to communicate clearly, to be confident, to make boundaries. But more than likely, you need to do the same thing, right? So let's take a look at what's in their heart space. Queen of Pentacles. You know, it's so interesting. I'm seeing a lot of repeating cards the last few weeks in this style of reading, because the Queen of Pentacles, it's like she's in the process of being offered this life force and this opportunity and this stability. And you can see the consistency here with the Knight of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and more Pentacles, equal giving and receiving in balance. This is what I'm saying. If we're overgiving all the time, nothing comes from that, right? Chasing doesn't get anybody anywhere. So let's take a look at the overall energy. Maybe I'll put this down just a little bit here. The overall energy is the Two of Swords. You know, one of you, both of you are getting ready to make a decision. Are you in the old? Are you in the new? And here's the thing. The Ten of Wands says you're approaching your limit, because Ten of Wands is burdens, right? Mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally exhausted. And underlying energy here is the Ten of Swords. So 1010 could very well be an angel number that you're seeing. You know, this is saying, I'm getting ready to reach my point. And once you reach a point, there's no turning back, because the Ten of Swords essentially is dead, done, and over with. Okay? And with that, we have here, see, Six of Wands. Six of Wands is public recognition and victory. It's like you're getting ready for that recognition, but it requires a bit of a battle. It requires a bit of a shakeup, you know? And I think that's what's hard for people is that, you know, we want instant gratification, but we forget about the work that goes along with it. And as I always say, it's not about working hard, it's about working smart, right? We have to know when to pick our battles. We have to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, you know when to walk away, know when to run. It's not an easy process, okay? But in time, these things can shift. So let's go to the current energy you might be experiencing right now or, you know, this weekend. And again, these are timeless. Whenever you watch them, it's all good. You know, just take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Never try to make it fit. Okay, so in your headspace, see what I mean? There's the Ace of Pentacles. This is when the offer comes in, when you're ready to move yourself forward, when you're ready to have victory. Okay, when you're ready to go on an adventure, when you're ready to do what you're passionate about, right? When you're ready to strive for that 10 of Pentacles. I mean, here's the thing. Don't you want the best of the best of the best? I know you do, and I want that for you. So you have to recognize that if someone's not bringing their best to you, why accept that? It's hard, I know. But again, it comes down to worthiness. You know, oftentimes, we accept what we feel worthy of. And if you really were to look at you and your person, you know, or your inner masculine and feminine energy, you would recognize that you probably do the same thing, right? I just think that it's always sort of the feminine energy that is 10 steps ahead. Now with that Ace of Pentacles, see, there's the King of Cups. Not surprised. King of Cups, that is, you know, emotions, but also being in tune with your emotions. You want king energy, no? And again, that's not about gender. What I'm saying is you want somebody who's solid. You want somebody who's in tune with their emotions, emotionally available. And if you want somebody emotionally available, then you need to be open and emotionally available too, right? Now, let's look at what's going on in your person's headspace. Judgment. See, this is the thing. Judgment. It's like, you know, it's funny. I said that somebody may be preparing to communicate, and I'm kind of giggling at myself here because there's this lady here behind a rock. You know, she's going to come out from under the rock and step into the light. There's an owl in the tree here. That's a little bit hard to see. I'm sorry with the lighting, but essentially, you know, it's like everybody else is out. Just this last person here that's got to come out and face the light and face the truth and heed the call and go through the transformation. And that's what happens when you are in tune with yourself, when you are ready for tangible new things, when you are following your passions. It all of a sudden like smokes your person out, you know, or brings them out of the shadows, because it's like a rubber band effect. You know, if you're always there, you're always trying to remind them of who you are and how much you love them and how much you're there for them, it doesn't bring them into the light. It just keeps them hidden. It keeps them running because they know that you're there, right? So let's see what else. Let's see. The Fool. See, here you go. Getting ready to trust and take a leap of faith. Beautiful. New beginnings. And there you go. In your heart space, Page of Swords. Now, the one thing that I will tell you is this. As much as the headspace here is saying, yep, I'm ready, I'm open, I want to do this, I want to be in tune, your heart still goes back to the spying and observing. You want to check on them. You want to see if they are doing their work. And don't worry about whether they're doing their work. Worry about whether you're doing yours. You know, I'm reminded of the same old story that I've told probably a million times. You've heard me say it about my father. My father was an Aries. There's the Fool energy right there. There's that Aries energy. As a child, backing up the car. Watch out, Dad, there's a car coming. My dad would go, he's got to watch out for me. You know what I mean? Like, he was thinking about his own process of backing up the car. Now, I know it's a silly analogy, but like, it's the same for you. You can't worry about what stage your person is at. Okay? And you also You have to make sure that your intentions are pure in your spiritual growth and evolution. Because if you're making those moves just to bring somebody back into your life or to bring somebody up to the same level, then your intention is not necessarily pure, because you should be in unconditional love that says, you know what? I wish you the best. I want happiness for you, right? Because your life is not contingent on somebody else. Your life is contingent on you, okay? So there's the Page of Swords. I think in your heart space, you are doing a bit of spying or observing. And you got to be careful with that, because that's energetic spying, energetic chasing. And we don't chase, we attract. And with that, there's the Tower. See, this is what I mean. As soon as you start going into new energy, or your boundaries are being pushed, or your comfort zone is being pushed, I should say, not so much boundaries, but could be. I would just say that you get a taste of the new, and then all of a sudden it's like you want to revert back into the old, and you're scared. You're scared of the new energy. You're scared of what if my person forgets me, which by the way, they won't. What if I'm not good enough? By the way, that's not true at all, okay? That's just you getting in your own head, and that's you being in self-preservation mode. So there's usually a panic in the emotional pain body, which of course is the heart space. The head space, you're perceived to be open. And I talk about that all the time, perceived openness. Yeah, I'm open for that new beginning. Sure, yeah, if somebody comes along, I'll date them. But then you go on that date and you're like, I can't stop thinking about this other person. Well, why is that? Because a lot of the times it's the devil you know versus the devil you don't know. You know what to expect, right? You know that cycle. You've been through it a million times. And it always comes down to just how many rounds do you want to go, right? How do you want to approach this? Is it going to change? You know, at what point do we get tired? And that's the whole point about the 10 of Wands and the 10 of Swords that I saw. I really do feel like a lot of you may actually be at your point. And let me know in the comments if that makes sense, or you're approaching that point. Now, again, this has nothing to do with how you feel about each other. This has nothing to do with whether your person loves you or doesn't. You know, Tina Turner, what's love got to do with it? But I will also remind you, Janet Jackson, what have you done for me lately? You know, there's got to be a consistency. I don't know, the songs are coming through today, but let's see. In your person's heart space currently, there's the Six of Pentacles. Okay, equal giving and receiving in balance. And I mentioned this actually in the video that I posted yesterday about being sparked by a twin flame or soulmate connection. If you haven't watched that video, maybe go and watch it. But I would just say to you that, you know, imagine for a moment that somebody came to you and said, I love you, I love you, I love you. I want to give, 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 give. You would be sitting there going, excuse me? Me? You want to give to me? Imagine your person when you're trying to overgive to them. So what your person is asking for is equal giving and receiving in balance. Let them feel like they're giving to you. Now, here's the dilemma. If you come to me and you say, Kelly, they're not giving, they're not stepping up, they're not showing up, they're not consistent, then that's up to you to then make the boundary. That's up to you to not allow it. That's up to you to say, hey, listen, I love you, but I love myself more. So you can't force anybody to give to you, but your person does need to feel confident in who they are, that they can provide, and that they feel good enough in their own skin. Now, I want to remind you something. This is not about financial status. This is not about, well, I have to make X amount of dollars a year. This is, do they feel good in what they do? I don't care what the profession is. You have to recognize that if somebody feels good about themselves and how they live and what they do, then they're able to give to you. If they don't feel good about themselves, they can't provide, they don't feel confident, then it's very hard for them to give. So there's a lot to this, right? This isn't just a simple equation. There's so many factors. And there's the High Priestess. They're going through an ascension process as well. We talked about that with the Four of Wands earlier in your headspace. I think your person is seeing signs and synchronicities. I think they're on their way. But the question is, can you trust their process? Okay. Overall energy is the Seven of Pentacles. Now, Seven of Pentacles is anxiety and worry. And you might be feeling worried that things aren't moving quickly enough or the way you want them to. And that's trying to control the outcome. And I want to remind you, we had the Page of Wands here in your heart space. There's the Page of Wands in the overall energy in the current tarot that basically says, hold on a second, I need to go live my life. I need to go enjoy myself. Because when you're living your life, when you're doing for you, when you're not paying any attention to what your person is doing over here, that's when you can expect the unexpected. That's when people want to talk to you. That's when people want to know what you're up to, because they don't feel you pulling on their energy. That's why energetic chasing is still chasing. And a lot of times people don't understand that by reading old conversations, as in text messages or emails, or looking at old pictures, or listening to the same playlist over and over and over again, thinking about these songs and your love, you're in theory sending them energy, right? Everything is energy. Underlying energy here is the Nine of Wands, Wounded Warrior. This is that feeling of like, okay, I feel tired. I've been through so much. And there's the moon. And the moon is telling you to purge and to surrender and to let go. And to trust your intuition that everything is going to be okay. I had some really great comments in the video for that sparking video, as I just mentioned, twin flame soulmate, how to know you're being sparked. And that's some of the questions that we're going to talk about, is like, how do you trust the process? Like, how do you know your anxiety, versus intuition, things like that. If there's something you want me to cover in a video, please let me know in the comments. But let's take a look now at the after tarot. So this is the energy we can expect in the near future, kind of after the weekend. And let's go to your headspace here. The Chariot, we had the Chariot earlier. Again, keep moving forward, onwards and upwards. That's the message. And there's the King of Pentacles. This is what you want, right? You want the King of Pentacles. You want somebody who's stable, calm, cool, collected, abundant. This is a great energy to be in, but it takes time. It's not a fast moving energy at all. Now, in your person's headspace, we have here the Nine of Cups. They're going to feast. They're going to have that wish fulfillment. They're going to manifest. It's going to take some time. We have no way of knowing. I always joke and say, I don't know what I'm going to have for dinner in 2068. We don't know when this is going to occur, okay? But we can't have the attachment. Believe that it's going to happen. That's all you have to do. But at the same time, you got to go live your life, right? And with that, we have the Wheel of Fortune. See, there's growth, there's expansion, there's good luck, there's change. And in your heart space, look at this. It's like saying, now, after this tower moment or this spying or observing, it's like saying, hold on a second here. I'm not going to overthink all these things. I'm going to make some moves. I'm not going to let my head get in the way of me living my life. Because a lot of the times that's what it is. You recognize that the brain lies to you. The emotional pain body holds you backwards because of traumas, triggers, and hurts. We have to be stronger than that. And it's not easy. I would never say it's easy. It's a work in progress. It's about consistency, like anything else. And here we have, hello. Sorry, I'm using my phone voice. Hello. If you didn't know, my parents made me do phone lessons with them as a child. Wow, that really came in handy later. All joking aside, I just said earlier, 10 of Pentacles. That's what you're wanting, right? That's what you're wanting. You want the 10 of Pentacles. You want to harvest all that good stuff. And you will when you focus on putting yourself forward, pushing forward. Now, in your person's heart space, we have of course, the Emperor. This is what I mean. You have to trust that your person is going to make the moves they need to make in order to be the Emperor. The Emperor is the King of Kings. The Emperor doesn't play around. That Emperor comes in very strong, and he makes it known. It's not about gender, but they make it known. And look, 7 of Cups. 7-7 could also be a sign for you. We have another 7 card here as well. So 7-7-7. 10-10 again. Wow, we had 10-10 earlier, 10-10 here. Okay. Oh, 4-4. We're really getting all the angel numbers, aren't we? Now, 7 of Cups is about illusions and vivid dreams. I know people have been having very vivid dreams lately, but this also in this depiction indicates having the treasure. And funny, there's the treasure chest right here on your side. This is like collecting the treasure, making the decision, taking the risk, and having the reward. Now, overall energy here is the, look at this, look at these two. My goodness. Two of Wands, leaving the comfort zone. And in this depiction, they're like hand in hand. They have the whole world in their hands. Now we've got another song here, right? And that's beautiful. Leaving the comfort zone. It's almost like being in some ways at the top of the cake together in this context. Oh my goodness. Three of Cups, celebration. This could be even a proposal, an engagement, a wedding. It's beautiful. It's celebration. Okay. Underlying energy, Ace of Swords, living authentic truth, clarity, aha moments. Something comes to light. There's wisdom. And with that, oh, you know what? I can't ask for anything better in this reading. Six of Swords. This is like moving on to calmer waters and peace. That's saying you have arrived. You know how I always talk about that one card in my other readings, you know, the process of arrival, taking the baby steps. This is arriving at the shore. The turbulence is gone. The storm is in the past. Beautiful. Okay. So before I leave you, let's do a Power of Surrender card here just to get an extra message to see what you need to surrender or surrender to. And we have, sorry, it's the story of my life. Surrender to trust. Trust yourself and your decisions. Don't be swayed by other people's strong opinions about what to do. Take action and be confident that you have chosen the right path. This is what I was saying to you earlier. Be very careful who you talk to about these things. You could talk to me about anything. I'm not here to judge you. I've heard everything you could ever imagine, okay? You have to remember that I understand energy. And it doesn't even have to be me that you speak to. Just make sure you speak to somebody who gets it, not somebody who's got a biased opinion or wants to keep you in old energy that just doesn't serve you, okay? Now, let's take the second card here. Surrender the drama. No matter how emotionally charged the situation, remain calm and don't contribute to the drama. Staying centered will help resolve the issue more quickly. Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for listening to my reading. I always appreciate a like, a subscribe, a comment. It really means the world to me. If you'd like to do a personal reading with me, the link is in my bio. Thank you very much, and I wish you an amazing day.